Mates, like I said, namhlanje we're going to talk about a very thorny and touchy issue, relationship between Makoti no mother-in-law, and also we're going to talk on the father side. Sesikhuluma ngo-father-in-law namadodana manje. Kunama-retreat. That means lento le is serious mayikuza kuma-relationships, isn't it? So la singathola khona a bit of help, litshedimosetso, then we must bring people abazokhuluma about those subjects. Namhlanje sinosisi Mamanese Mathule from TM Events. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Abut Nimrod.
On Facebook, right? And
yes.
Finally we get to meet and we get to do this interview.
Yeah, and it actually took me by surprise. Like
why it took you by surprise?
Like, I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, when you reminded me, and I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah, thank you very much for that.
No, it's only a pleasure. So briefly, tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm originally from the Free State, a small town called Tienesen. And then I came to Johannesburg after I finished my studies.
Okay.
And this is where I'm currently residing with my husband now.
Oh, all right. And you're a motivational speaker. You've got an events company. You also hold events, especially retreats, on the few subjects that we've spoken about, which is Makoti and Mamazala retreats. You're a mom?
Yes, I'm a mom of a 6-year beautiful girl. Yeah, my one and only princess.
Okay, one come like
Siamo.
Siamo.
Yes.
All right. First, let's start with a motivational speaker. That is you. What's a motivational speaker, Mar? And are you guys still needed?
Yo, we are more needed than before.
But what if I've got my pastor?
That's all I can say. But the reality is, between me and the pastor, we do different things.
Okay.
Because the pastor is more into your Bible versions and into your restoration type. When now I'm more into your life side, into your I give you that push and the juice up when you are down and out. And some pastors are both. And that's truly a good and a beautiful thing. But some are just basically pastors focusing on Lentul and Tatemudin.
So then are you saying there is a distinct difference between a motivational speaker and a pastor? Because some people who are motivational speakers act as pastors.
I think it is when they act as pastors, it's probably when they are too much in rooting of the word. Now when they speak, most of their speeches are truly founded on the gospel. Like I'm talking from a basic point of most of the talks that I have, they are truly found on God. So I will truly understand, because a lot of people would sometimes mistaken me for a pastor. Then they will call me and say, where is your church? And I'm like, no, I don't have a church. I'm just very much rooted in the word. Okay. So when you hear me speaking about God, then I'm speaking of somebody that I know. Then you're probably getting that thing out, maybe but it's true. There's that thin line between us and the pastors, but only if you are rooted in the word.
And I suppose the human spirit always needs encouragement. It always needs good direction and good guidance, especially when you have to deal with mental illness, such as depression. Abanye abantu, they cannot fight depression, and this is where people of your caliber come in with the books that people write as well, just to channel us back to positivity and believing or what we can truly succeed beyond what seems to be an impediment right now.
True. Currently, as you spoke about depression, we live in a society where we are truly depressed. There's a whole lot of pressures that we find ourselves into. And mostly in our lives, 90% we spend our weekends as abantu going to seminars, trying to find that one place where our souls will be captured, where we will leave the place feeling highly inspired, where we will go back home and say, I need to redo or restructure things that I've been doing. So because of the pressures that we are facing, yes.
Later on, Busisi will also talk about discovering one's true self. She was saying that in this clutter of trying to conform to everyone's standard, we lose our identity, we lose who we are, and therefore we deprive ourselves of contributing meaningfully as this beautiful and special being.
It is because, again, we tend to want to imitate people a lot. We get caught up into liking something so much that you value it more than you value yourself. And we tend to see other people as more successful than ourselves, and we tend to want to be those people, not understanding that as a motivational speaker, when I'm doing that, it is basically what I am doing. That does not mean that I don't have the challenges that any person I go through the same challenges. There are mornings that I don't want to wake up to. There are days that I don't want to clean, but I still have to, because I still have somebody who also needs to refuel me as well. But people look at us and think, the life here is perfect. They have everything, when it's not like that. You must take what we're giving, but know that whatever challenges that you're going through, Nati, we go through them.
And most cynical people will say, you know, why don't you use it? Why is it not successful in your family, for example? You could be a great motivational speaker, and you can transform me as Nimrod. I can get what you're saying. We can connect at that level, but you will not necessarily succeed, say, with your husband. You know what I mean? And that's all I find sad, really, you know?
I would, Nimrod, on that, I always say to people, for you to be able to transfer the transformation within your family, there needs to be that spiritual distinguishment between a wife and a daughter of God or a motivational speaker. If your family can have that a differentiation and be able to tap into that, that is the only time they will truly see you as a motivational speaker. But for as long as they see you as umamanje, everybody must just know that the family will never have the impact that I'm giving to the people as much as I would want them to.
It brings us now back to the story of Jesus, isn't it?
Yeah.
When he goes back to his hometown.
True.
You know,
True.
and he's rejected there, isn't it, though? But it didn't stop him from impacting the world.
Changing lives, yes, because they did not see a Messiah.
Yes.
They just saw this little boy that they knew that was probably playing kuru kuru here, and they saw, who is he to come and tell us about saving who and what? Who is he?
And that's human nature,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's Mary and Joseph's son. Isn't that the son of the carpenter?
Exactly.
Yeah,
how is he going to help us?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But that for me was saying it is good to go back to your community and uplift it as well. You know, fine, they rejected him, but he went back to his community to raise it up and uplift it.
True that.
I wanted to talk about a very thorny and touchy issue of Abo Makoti and mother-in-laws. And I know Abo Mama, Ababugele, they've got their feelings as well, and the young wives as well. You know, why is this a contentious issue? You know, we have now discovered what really made dogs and cats fight. What made Omakoti, no mother-in-laws, get to the point where we need such retreats and interventions just so that they can get along?
As Batubabo Me, we love being in control, and there are times in our lives when we cannot cope, when we cannot control the situation. Now I'm coming back now to a mother and umakoduake. When a son gets married, there's some level of shock that happens to a mother, that all of a sudden my son is leaving and I am no longer maybe the first lady like I used to be, and so is coming in and taking my position.
Okay. Sorry, ne? I understand the level of shock because it was inevitable that I would get married at some time or another. Okay, whether it's my daughter or my son going to college or going overseas, that separation anxiety will always be there because this boy, this woman, you've always raised them, and now they have to start their own family, right?
True.
So then, fine, isn't it natural then to have a sense of separation anxiety?
In theory, it is. But when it actually has to happen, now we need to understand the era that they're also coming from.
Yeah.
They still attached to those old story tales and old way of doing things.
Like?
And they were also, when they got married, abused. So when you get married into that family, when you get to that Mamazala, Even though at the back of her mind she will say, now when I got married, I was ill-treated, and I swear I'll never do it to my daughter-in-law. She's gonna do it because the only thing that she knows as Ngwetsi was to be ill-treated. So automatically the cycle of psychology is going to still happen, where she'll find herself doing things to you but telling people that hauna nix e ke mo etsang yona. But here you are as umakoti of the now that has all these resources and all this knowledge and all the education, and we are easily into transformation. We can easily adapt as well. So when you find yourself in such a situation, that is where you as umakoti need to reposition yourself to a daughter position. And if you find her threatened, assure your Mamazala through the son that, Mama, I'm not here to take anybody's position. I'm just here to be a daughter. I always say to Batu Tate, because as the source Libona, there's a huge part that they need to play. A day before you get married, there's certain conversation that you should have with your mom. That, Mama, if I used to give you 5 rand, know that the 5 rand is no longer gonna come from me. Unfortunately, in our culture, so that is the one thing that also makes it so difficult for parents to let go, especially because at least a cruiser 2.5.
Yeah, but why can't I continue? Why can't I continue? Why must it be a bone of contention?
You cannot continue because now you are starting your own family.
Wait.
You can't.
Aye, man.
I get.
No. You see, imagine now lying king maybe let's say, can I put it then to you, Guti? Mhlawumbe, let's change the manner in which it is done, so that angithi qala bewuyenza directly.
Yeah.
Ngingakakutholi.
Yeah.
Okay, especially uma wami abamdivorced, ne?
Yeah.
And then I have to take care of my mom. How do you then come and say I cannot do it?
No, I don't come and say you cannot do it. But when as a son, you need to have a conversation with your mom to say, the money is not gonna come from me, Kiliwan. It's gonna come from me and Lesego.
Okay, that's better.
And
That's better.
it might not even come every month, Mama. Unfortunately.
And then more the month is actually thing my mom must have.
No, not that she must have, because
must
when you're
happen?
doing that,
Yes.
you are opening a relationship for your wife as well, to tap into a space where she says, I can see now that so it is upon me now to be responsible and take care of my mama without even my husband being involved.
Hey, but do you need to see her go hungry in that month for you to notice that? No,
I don't need to see, but I need to be part of the puzzle.
Of course.
I need to be involved in this puzzle. And
Of
I
course.
don't want you making it sound as if it is our responsibility as an entitled responsibility. But I want you to make it sound to me like, as a daughter and son, we are doing something for our mother, so that she can continue surviving, but not from the basis of, now because my mom is single, as a boy child, I must take care of my mom. What if my mom is also single? Then what?
Then we take care of your mom.
And this is where you find couples fighting at a later
This
stage
is
to
where,
say,
yes,
this month
okay.
you didn't do this for my mom, this is what
But you
didn't.
see, that's exactly my point. Yes, I started the break. Mele ngiphumule kancane. Sibuye sikhulume kahle le ndaba lena Nkosi yami. Saqhubeka no mama.